Family, how's it going, y'all? It's Tuesday. We got a lot we got to get to. Let's get right into it. Yeah. It's still early in the week. Trying to figure out, how I'm gonna move throughout the rest of the week. Usually I got a set plan, but I don't have a schedule per se. So it's like I really make adjustments as the week goes on. And I think I got some things figured out, so. And I like it. I like being a lot less structured. It's work for me. I've done quite well having less structure. Although I have developed certain things, like I give myself timelines, or I guess I give myself timelines and deadlines. Not necessarily a schedule, but a day where I have to get things done at. So, I might have something where it's like, okay, I got to get this task done by Saturday at 8 p.m. And I know that's when I have to get it done. And sometimes I'll get it done Thursday. Sometimes I'll get it done at 7:59 p.m. on Saturday. But I always make sure I set hard deadlines on things I have to get done, because the job always has to be completed. We got a lot we got to talk about. We got to get into what's going on with all of this crime that is going on. And I want to talk about who's actually responsible for it. Is it the criminals? Is it the justice system? Is it the parents? Is it just the person themselves and their own choices? There's a combination of all of it. We're going to talk about that as we go through a lot of this crime stuff. But first, I have to get y'all fed. It's early in the week, so we're going to go light. We're going to go light today. And I think we're going to go with soup. Yeah. We're going to go with Turkish lentil soup. Let's get into it. Let's check it out real quick. See how it looks. You can have this soup with bread. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not having bread right now, personally. So if y'all wanna copy what I'm doing, then you're just gonna have the soup by itself, right? But this is how it looks. Can we zoom in on that? Zoom in on that. That's how it looks when you got the bread with it. So you can have like a pita bread or something like that, if you'd like. Maybe some naan bread. So we're going to have this soup. We're going to go ahead and get this made real fast. We're going to have this content creator do it. Shout out to her. Looks like she's in good spirits right there, holding her soup with her 2 lemons on the side. Her channel name is Unicorns in the Kitchen. Unicorns in the Kitchen is her channel name. Always got to give credit to the content creator that helps us along with our meals, with our lunch, helping us get our second half of the day started off right. So we're going to let her go ahead and show us. She's got 7.85 thousand subscribers at this point. So go ahead and give her a subscribe and let her know you appreciate her for feeding us. All right, let's go into it.
Carrot, some salt, tomato paste, spices including cumin, black pepper, and Aleppo pepper, also known as pul biber, and some red lentils. Now let's get cooking. Turkish lentil soup, also known as mercimek çorbası, is a very simple dish made with just a few ingredients.
This dish is vegan, by the way. It is vegan.
To also chop the carrots into small pieces. And that's basically all the vegetables we need for this.
No adjustment needs to be made.
This is a very light soup that is very popular also in the restaurants. You can have it as an appetizer or as a light dish for lunch or dinner. I have my pot here heating, and I have some olive oil brown, just enough that they're translucent and a little golden. Okay, the onion is just for a couple of minutes to make sure that it doesn't taste raw. This also would help the flavor and the color of the tomato paste to come out. I've sauteed the tomato for about a minute. I'm going to add the carrot.
I like that word saute.
The red lentils.
There's something sexy about the word the word saute is sexy.
Stop.
And the spices.
Got our spices in there.
I'm also smells so good. And the final step is to just add water.
I'm gonna go with spring water. I ain't gonna get the water out the tap. We're gonna pour spring water in there.
I'm going to stir this for a little bit, bring it to a boil, and then let it simmer covered for about 20 minutes, and then our soup is ready. The red lentil will open up and will turn yellow when cooked, and that's why the soup is gonna have a lighter color than what you can see right now. The soup has come to a boil. I'm going to reduce the heat to medium and let it simmer covered for about 20 minutes until the lentils are fully cooked. The soup has been cooking for about 20 minutes now. It looks very good. It's all creamy. As you can see, the lentils have all broken. You can serve this as it is, but I'm going to serve it the classic way and blend it in the blender until it's creamy.
Blend it in a blender.
I've blended the soup and look how creamy this is. With a drizzle of lemon juice and some Aleppo
I didn't know you
pepper,
do that.
This would be the perfect appetizer.
Good presentation with the lemons on the
ready,
side.
and I'm so excited to try it. I'm gonna add a little bit of lemon juice to it. Looking good. And let's give it a try.
I thought she was gonna take it like a shot of liquor.
It's just so light and creamy. It makes the perfect lunch or dinner, or even as an appetizer, you can serve this. Now, if you give this...
And she loves it. And she loves it. Look at her face. She's enjoying that soup so much. I thought she was gonna let me switch this. Let's go black and white. I thought she was gonna hit the soup, like take it like a shot. Like, what if you just put like a shot glass in it, you just scooped it up, then you just little lemon afterwards, how they do with the Coronas and the lime and the tequila and all that. But it feels like a soup day to day. I don't know. It's not, I mean, I don't know what part of the country y'all are in, or the world, but you know, in Minnesota right now, it's not really like sunny out. It's kind of a little dark. It's not cold necessarily, but it's, you know, it's overcast, and you know, I thought soup would be good for us today. We going light today. We going light. You messing with the soup? You messing with the soup, One Truth? You like the soup today? I hope so. I always got to take care of y'all. I always got to make sure that y'all are family. I got to make sure y'all are fed 100%. 100%. Okay, so we got to talk about our main topic. We got to get into our main topic. You know, I was thinking about it, and for me, I look at whenever you do something, just do it at the highest level, right? And I feel like the criminals that are running rampant at this point are basically, they're at an impasse. They don't know what to do. They're sloppy with their work. They are running around with no type of guidance, no type of leadership. They're completely brazen, and they're beginning to get frustrated that they can't do their criminal work at a high level. So now they're just starting to take their frustration out on innocent people, and that was never what it was supposed to be. We're not supposed to be unnecessarily violent to people that are not violent towards us. So there's no active feud or anger towards one another. You just got somebody just working in a jewelry store. You got somebody cleaning out their car. You got somebody that happens to have a lot of resources and has nothing to do with you, doesn't know you at all. Then you decide to rob them, and then you decide to become violent and possibly take their life, injure them gravely, do different things like that. That was never part of it, right? You know, aggression should be met with aggression, but when you're doing things like that, I mean, we're seeing it get to the point where it's starting to become completely dangerous. So the question on the table is this. The question on the table is this as we go into these stories. No, we don't want to go to that one. We want to go here. We want to go here. Who is responsible for all this criminality? Who is responsible?
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, there's probably, I would say, at least 4 parts to this, right? You have law enforcement, the justice system. You can group them all into one. Then you have the criminals, right? They're one. Then you have the parents, right? We'll put them in there. And then I guess you can throw in there as well on a lesser extent, because a lot of times they put themselves in positions to be taken advantage of unnecessarily. You know, lack security, not paying attention to their belongings, trusting everybody. We're at a point where you can't trust anybody in the world, like, honestly. Unless they're extremely close to you, you can't trust them. So I want to go into some of these stories, and we're going to try to figure out some of these questions throughout. But I think it's very, very interesting. So we have these set up in a way where it's going to be a bit strategic as we begin to advance into how serious it is, who should be held accountable, and then how serious it's gotten with the justice system finally starting to hold them accountable. So let's start here. Let's actually start here. I was going to go with another story, but I want to start here. And this is going to talk about the justice system part of it, where a man that committed a crime was released, I guess on a technicality, and then he was subsequently able to go out and commit more crime. Let's watch it.
We begin with breaking news in Weld County. A man with a history of violent offenses has been arrested yet again. His case has become the center of the debate over a recent law that makes it harder to prosecute certain violent offenders in Colorado. The University of Northern Colorado says its police department arrested Debisa Ephraim yesterday. He's accused of having a gun on campus. Ephraim made headlines when he avoided attempted murder charges after he was ruled incompetent to stand trial. Dylan Thomas is your reporter in Northern Colorado and was the first to bring attention to this case. Dylan joins us live in Greeley tonight with the latest.
Yeah, Michael, 15 days ago, we broke the headline that Debisa Ephraim was being released here from the Weld County Jail against the wishes of the sheriff and the prosecutors. And now, today, we break the news once again that he is back in custody here at the sheriff's office, accused of a serious crime. Just weeks after the sheriff described him as a danger to this community, he is now accused of carrying a gun around UNC's campus. Ephraim was rebooked into the Weld County Jail earlier this afternoon. Just about 15 days ago, we broke the news that the sheriff was having to release Debisa Ephraim against his and the district attorney's wishes, a result of House Bill 24-1034, which created a loophole in the law. Ephraim was facing charges like attempted murder, but he was found incompetent to stand trial. And that bill says if the incompetent can't stand trial or get mental health care, that they have to then be released. Our report then quickly gained national attention after both Elon Musk and Charlie Kirk shared our story on their social media accounts. Kirk sharing our story shortly before his tragic assassination. Their tweets then gained the attention of lawmakers like Governor Jared Polis, who said Ephraim should have never been released, even though the prosecution and enforcement were following the law, which Polis signed into law. Here's the catch. That same law that allowed Ephraim to be released 15 days ago may very well result in him being released once again on these same charges, showing the issue with this loophole that he is falling through. We are going to have an interview with the sheriff tomorrow on this topic, hopefully trying to learn more about what might be next in this new prosecution of Debisa Ephraim. Reporting live in Weld.
So what do y'all think about that? What do y'all think about that? So they said he was too incompetent. I actually want to look up the word. Let me just look up incompetent real quick. I want to make sure I understand what that word means exactly. I got an idea. Definition of incompetency. Incompetency is the state of lacking the ability or qualification to perform a task. Okay. Manage one's affairs or act legally effectively. This lack of capacity can be due to mental or physical issues or a lack of skill, knowledge, or necessary qualifications. In a legal context, which this could play a part, it can lead to the appointment of a guardian or render a person unable to stand trial. Well, based off of what he did, I don't know if this applies because he was competent enough to do the crime. Like, it was attempted murder, right? Was it attempted murder, the first one?
Attempted murder charges after he was ruled incompetent to stand trial.
Attempted murder charges. If you're too incompetent to do something, wouldn't it necessarily say that you can't even perform the task at all? He was actually, if anything, overqualified to try to commit murder. The only thing he was incompetent on was actually following through with committing the murder successfully because the person didn't actually lose their lives. So when you look at that, it kind of says that the criminal justice system is absolutely broken. And then you got this guy, all the crazy things that have been happening on campuses, schools, all the way from elementary, middle to high school and college. He's walking around with a firearm and he's caught and more than likely will be released again at some point. And you can look in his eyes right here and see he does not care at all. You know, usually when somebody gets a pass or they get away with something and they know they should have been held accountable at the highest level, they begin to say, you know what, that was enough for me. I know what could have happened and what should have happened to me. I'm going to stop. I'm going to stop. I'm not going to do it anymore. And, you know, a famous quote is, a wise man, no, let me see, is it smart man? Smart man learns from, no, dumb man makes the same mistakes over and over. Guess it could be a woman too. Smart man learns from his own mistakes, and a wise man learns from others' mistakes. And this guy right here is none of those because he continued to do the same thing over and over. Let's continue to go on, though, because we got a lot we got to get to. So this is looking at the accountability factor of how the police are dealing with these criminals. So you can go here. We can see thief targets coin laundry.
Caught on camera, a smash and grab suspect in Florida targets a coin laundry business, all for the arcade games. Bradenton police say the thief shattered the front door last week, then took a hammer to 2 coin pusher game machines. The man got away with some cash and coins. Police are hoping someone recognizes this coin crook.
Just a few hours from now, one of the defendants.
So we see this guy, and that's the game where I ain't gonna lie. If a criminal should rob any game, it's that game, because that game is complete robbery. That's the one where you put the coin in. You put the coin in, and then you try to push more coins out. So you got to time it up perfectly where you put it in, and then it starts to slide the coins out, and then hopefully you put like 1 coin in, and it pushes out like 5 or 10 coins for you. It's not really a fun game, but it can start to become addicting. And I've played it before. foolishly, and I've lost. I'm like -$3 on that game so far, and I'll never recover that money ever again. But it's more for entertainment. It's not to try to actually make money. A lot of these games and stuff, I mean, they're just for entertainment. So if you ever try to gamble and stuff, if you ever want to be a professional gambler and try to make money off it, like, that's usually not going to be the case. Anytime you're gambling, just look at it from a standpoint of it's entertainment. I'm just paying for entertainment. I'm not paying to make money, because it's less than likely it's going to happen. The house always wins. So that was kind of a crime there. I want to continue to go, though, because these crimes are going to kind of go like this. They're going to go like this. This one's going to get a little more serious. Let's check this one out.
This week, a local law enforcement agency is asking for your help locating a group of smash and grab thieves caught on camera targeting a jewelry store. Houston police shared this video with us tonight, showing 4 men smashing display cases at a jewelry store inside a food town on West Little York near I-45. It happened back on July 17th. You can see one of the workers tries to fight back by throwing things at the robbers. That's when one of the robbers, wearing pink gloves, pepper sprayed the workers before they all ran away. Now, similar crimes happened last month inside a Pearland food town and an H-E-B in League City. The thieves also used pepper spray in the League City case. Jewelry store owners and employees really need to keep their guard up these days as police try.
I want to talk a little bit about, and remember, we had the 4 things, right? We had law enforcement, justice, we had the actual criminals, we had the criminals, justice, criminals, parents, and then we had the actual victims. So that would be the stores that are being robbed and all of these people. I want to look at this store a little bit, and it doesn't look very well kept, I should say. But my thing is this, right? You got hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars in merchandise in your store, right? And I don't know exactly what the margins are on jewelry and different things like that, but I know that they're very high priced. You can have a single ring that can cost $15,000, $20,000, right? So my thing is this. Is it not worth paying armed security, at least one guard, just to stand post during business hours? I mean, he's just an employee that is going to be there to protect your store. An armed guard, probably got an AR-15 across his back with multiple sidearms and maybe a tactical vest on. And he's in there. And he's paying attention to what's going on. And this is how I would have him stationed. If I had this type of store, I'd have him stationed here. I don't know what you're paying. What would it be? I think like at least $50 an hour would be fair. At least $50 an hour would be fair to pay this guy to protect your life and also your millions of dollars of merchandise. So he'll be positioned just inside the store next to the door, and you'll set him up with a post there, and he'll be responsible for allowing people to come in and out of the store. All right? And actually, you know what? I was thinking tactical and make him kind of look, you could actually put him in like a business suit and make him look a little more inviting, because most people that come in are not going to be criminals trying to rob your store. So maybe you don't want to have it look like you got armed guards and all that, because, it looks a little bit tacky. But then again, that's up for debate. However, he'll be positioned inside the store, and he will vet people with his experience, because these store owners have no experience. They began to throw things at the criminals. Throwing things. Let me just throw this remote at you, right? Let me throw my portable speaker at you and hope that it hits you, and you begin to run out of the store without any jewelry. Then you get pepper sprayed because of it, and it really could have been worse than that. They could have just pulled out a firearm and that would have been the end of it. So for the store owners, right? Like, y'all got to be better, right? As far as the way that you have your security set up. When you want to deal, you're going to have to take more measures. And I know you want to make all the money in the world. It's going to eat into your profit a little bit. Instead of you clearing, $100,000, maybe you clear $85,000, but you don't end up putting your life in danger and also having smash and grab burglars run into your store and rob you. So it's a little bit to the actual store owners, a little advice, a little help there. You know, they might use it, they might not. Maybe they've already considered this and just chose not to, said it's cheaper to not pay somebody annually and just possibly get robbed once or twice. Some of these stores get hit multiple times, and you know that's what we're looking at there. All right, so we've covered a few of the 4 so far. Let's continue to go on. What do we got here?
We're learning more about a break-in at an La Puente business. $30,000 in merchandise gone, including some very popular and very cute toys. Surveillance video shows at least 4 people ransacking the store early yesterday morning. Our Lolita Lopez spoke to the owner. She joins us live. Lolita.
Yeah, Colleen, that owner tells me that they broke into 2 different places. They're first through that metal door. They pried that open and then broke the glass right here in that front door and then went in. She also said that they were moving surveillance cameras inside, but not all of them. And then they were caught in the act. From viral sensation to smash and grab target, these Labubus are popular with people of all ages. In fact, we were checking online, and some of the rare ones or limited edition ones like this one, they can go for hundreds of dollars each. And the owner of this store in La Puente believes that her Labubus were the target of thieves who broke into her store early Wednesday morning.
We do TikTok lives and we're on Instagram, so people know we're here. I just had a gut feeling to wake up, and check my phone. Once I checked my phone, they were barely gonna enter the store. So I witnessed everything live when they were in here robbing the stuff.
Joanna Vendano says she called the sheriff's department as she was watching at least 4 people inside of her shop through her surveillance cameras. She says deputies took about 15 minutes to get here, but by the time they got here, the thieves had gotten away.
Okay. Yeah, they're going to be in and out in about, I'd say somewhere within a neighborhood of, depending on what they're grabbing, but usually they're going to have it timed out less than 5 minutes. 15 minutes is far too long to get there. Imagine just watching your store be burglarized, though. You're just, like, that has to be one of the worst feelings. Like, I have a lot of surveillance set up, at the locations that I'm at, that I frequent. And, so I will have visuals of everything, but I think that just watching it is insane, right? And understanding that, that law enforcement isn't going to get there in time has to absolutely suck. Criminals are gone with all your stuff. You just had to watch it.
Aiming just for the Labubus, everything that was more expensive because cash, I didn't have any cash in the register. Yeah, they know because they took the most valuable stuff. They only left the stuff that are not really popular.
We were here when LA County Sheriff deputies were following up on the investigation.
Well, it's very devastating. We took a long time to build this business. We spent a lot of money as well, and all of our inventory, and it's just sad to see that people, came in and just stole our stuff, and, it's very sad.
And Joanna says that they've only actually been here for 2 months. This is her first brick and mortar store. She also tells us she lost $30,000 worth of merchandise. Now, one thing she's grateful for are her local business owners here and around the area. Everyone's looking at video to see if they can capture a pickup truck that they say was how these thieves got away.
Police always late, man. And that's a lot of the problem, and that's why when you think about it as a store owner, the cops, they can only do so much when it comes to, because they have to react to crime. They can't really, they can predict it in a way based off of statistics, but they can't pinpoint it. So a lot of times you got to put yourself in a position to prevent this. Now, I will say that for her, right? And yeah, they got to take some of the blame. I agree. They're kind of just taunting the criminals. Yeah, but for this woman, she actually, she's got burglar bars set up. It looks like they were able to breach her security door, which doesn't look like it's great. I mean, honestly, if they really wanted to, if you look up at the top of the screen, she's got an AC above the door entrance. That's an easy point of access right there. You stand on a step ladder, you push that AC directly. They didn't even need to go through the door. I guess to get out, though, they would have had to, so they'd had to breach it anyways. But, I mean, really push that AC, climb through the window, you're in just as easy and possibly might not even trigger the alarm. But although she probably had the motion sensing camera, so she would have noticed as soon as they got in, it would have, you know, sent an alert to her phone. But these are people that have already, the messed up thing about all this too, the messed up thing is that she knows who these criminals are, or she's at least seen them. She needs to go through all of her camera footage over the last, I would say, week, maybe even sooner than that, and just look at anybody that looks suspicious. It's going to be hard. I don't know how many customers she has coming in and out. A store like that, I would think that it's not a lot of traffic, but somebody went in there and cased that place beforehand during business hours. There was somebody that went in there, most likely didn't buy anything, was just looking around, just seeing what's going on, checking prices, seeing where everything's located at. Most likely was not good at casing the place without it. She probably should have had some red flags, like this person looks a little suspicious. Let me get a profile on them just in case, because I'm not trusting what's going on with them. Because they went directly for the high-priced items and left all the cheap stuff. So they absolutely cased that place before they went in. And, you know, that's something that, you know, you got to be a little more aware of. All right, so I want to look at this story right here because, you know, we talked about a lot of different aspects and we're getting through the four. We talked about law enforcement, justice system, and we talked about the store owners and how they can be a little more preventative in stopping these things. And we're actually going to go back to law enforcement. But now I want to look at the parents, right? I want to look at the parents because a lot of these burglaries, robberies, especially the smash and grab ones, they're usually teenagers, right? They're usually between the ages of, I might even go up to like 21, but like 13 to 21 is probably the demographic of people that are running in stores doing the smash and grabs. Because they're able to kind of work together a lot quicker because they're in school. They can congregate a lot faster rather than adults are a little more isolated and separated. Usually going to see adults and they're going to be, you know, maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 people at the most. When it's a whole mob of people, they're usually teenagers. So let's see what happened with this and the parents being charged. The parents were charged over this.
Car break-ins over the weekend has now led to charges against 3 suspects and several of their parents. Police in Gloucester City arrested 16, 17, and 19-year-old over their alleged involvement in a series of burglaries early Sunday morning.
They even got the 19-year-old. He must still be living at home.
But when police charged the teens, prosecutors opted to also hold their parents to account, accusing them of failing to supervise their children. New Jersey correspondent Chris Hartman has the details tonight.
3 arrests were made after the alleged thefts from vehicles, but the parents of the juvenile suspects were also charged. Police say it's an effort they've been using for quite some time to cut down on juvenile crime. It was early Sunday morning, around 1:30. Surveillance video shows 3 people walking near vehicles in the Highland Park section of Gloucester City. Police say it was these 3 who were arrested a short time later for breaking into cars and stealing things. You can see one trying to access cars in a driveway across the street, running from the house when a light goes on. Denise Glassman says her son-in-law's car was hit, left unlocked on Saturday evening.
That's when he called the police and found out that he had got his car along with all the other cars on the street.
She says credit cards were stolen out of it, and his bike was also stolen out of the driveway.
His kids were upset. My grandchildren are very scared now that there's going to be somebody coming to take their things.
Police say several vehicles were burglarized over the weekend. 3 suspects were taken into custody. 2 juveniles from Camden, 16 and 17 years old, and 19-year-old Wesley Hunter from Cherry Hill. Hunter had outstanding warrants and was turned over to Camden County Police. The juveniles were released to their parents, who were also charged with failure to supervise their child.
If somebody came to my house and said, my kids did something wrong, I would take responsibility. Absolutely. These parents need to take responsibility.
The police chief says the charge typically involves an appearance in municipal court and likely a fine. Folks in the neighborhood say they're relieved to hear about the arrest, but are still taking precautions.
So between the dogs and the Ring camera, we just watch out for each other, you know? It's a small little neighborhood that we live in, and that's what we do.
Police are asking people to be vigilant. They're also asking people to check their vehicles for signs of burglary. Detectives have some recovered stolen items that they would like to get back to their rightful owners.
The Ring camera, the invention of the Ring camera, and it would have been invented, you know, eventually regardless. But it's been a good invention because, like, you know, and a lot of times it covers a wide range of a lot of people will commit crime at one house because they've already cased it. They've already cased one house and they said, oh, they ain't got no camera set up. You know, we're good. We can hit this house. And the Ring camera, the Ring camera, 6 houses away will capture them. Sometimes in the act, sometimes they can line it up. Police will go there. Can we check your Ring camera footage? And they'll have the vehicle speeding away around the same time. Well, only one vehicle passed around the time of the burglary or the robbery or the crime. And they're able to capture the plates. And then that's a direct link back to whoever the plates run back to, assuming the car is not stolen, which they usually are. And then they're able to track down the criminal at that point. So the Ring cameras did a good job of that. But the parents, what do y'all think about what's going on with the parents as far as should they start to be charged if their juvenile child is caught doing a crime or does any type of crime, right? And it's the third thing we got to talk about. What responsibility do the parents have? I think I would go like high 90%. If not, I might even go 100%, honestly. I might even go 100%. Because when you look at parents, right, and you understand the power that they have, as a parent, you can basically guide your kid into, you know, I can't go 100%. I can't go 100%. I'll go 90% because there's always going to be an exception, right? Some people just can't be reasoned with. Some people are just evil. They're just monsters, and that's just what it is. Like, it's really nothing you can do. You can do everything right. But, I mean, sometimes being too nice of a parent, not giving discipline, has the opposite effect. You got to find a balance there. And, you know, sometimes you can do everything right as a parent and your kid can still be a loser, drug addict, criminal. So I'll say 90%. But I absolutely do believe that the parent should be held accountable and charged as an accomplice anytime that their kid is involved in any type of crime. And based off of what the cops are saying is they're not keeping up with their kids, right? And that's true. Like, you know, I don't really think that, because if you look at kids, we never hold them accountable for anything else. Like, when a kid does something wrong, the majority of the time, society is gonna blame the parents, right? But for some reason, when it comes to crime and then being convicted, the parents never have to face charges along with the kid. So for me, I'm 100% with this as far as the parents being charged, and I'd like to see more of this moving forward. I think that parents will start to do their job a lot better because your kid did not ask to be in this world, and we did not ask for your kid. When you was over there in bed, having the time of your life, having incredible sex that got you pregnant, then you got the woman pregnant that we had nothing to do with. Now you got this kid and you don't want to take responsibility, and we got to deal with them rummaging through the city, breaking into our cars that y'all got to stop leaving your cars unlocked, man. Stop leaving your cars unlocked and having your laptop bag sitting in the back seat because you were too tired after work to bring it in. You're like, I got to bring it to work in the morning anyways. At least put it out. Don't have it visible sitting there with the door unlocked. If you got your door unlocked and somebody steals something out of your car, like I almost more blame the owner of the vehicle than I would the thief. I mean, that's no different than just leaving it sitting on the sidewalk, just right there. Like lock your doors at minimum. If they break the window and get in there, it's a little bit different. But if you just got the door unlocked, bro, that's kind of crazy. And let's see. Oh yeah, we got a lot more we got to get to. Let's see what we got. Definitely on the parents. Yeah, the parents. The parents got to be better. The parents absolutely have to be better. 100%. I agree. Depend on the crime and the age. So if they get caught stealing bubble gum from the grocery store, then the parent shouldn't be in trouble for that. But then that comes along with, okay, well, you didn't know your kid was at the grocery store. You didn't understand if your kid was going to go to the grocery store. Maybe you should provide them with some money or, give them an opportunity to be able to pay for the items. Because most kids are broke, so their only option is to ask their parents or steal. So as parents, should we be paying, should automatically as a parent, should you be giving your kid money weekly or monthly so they can get things outside of what's given to them by their parents? Like they can start to go into society and be able to buy things. That's a good question. And then, I think definitely the crime and then the age, but the kid was 19. That kid was 19 and they still got the parents. So he must have been living at home. So I don't know. It's a bit interesting. So, the parents. So let's continue to go on. And now we're going to start to escalate a little bit. It's going to start to escalate. We're going to start getting a little more violent now and see how these things can go from kids just running around, stealing stuff out of unlocked cars, and maybe breaking into an arcade and stealing a whole bunch of quarters out of a machine to robbing a woman at a car wash.
At a Reseda car wash, surveillance cameras rolling as a nursing student is pushed to the ground before losing her life savings. That robbery victim just came from the bank. Fox 11's Chelsea Edwards is live now in Van Nuys with the exclusive story for us. Chelsea.
Susan, police believe that the thieves followed her from the bank to the car wash, then waited till she wasn't paying attention to rob her, not once, but twice. A brazen robbery caught on camera. Watch as this white Jeep pulls up next to a woman cleaning her car at a Reseda car wash. While she vacuums, someone sneaks in and grabs her purse. The victim, who goes by Anahita, didn't hear a thing. But then the robber comes back.
The first attempt he did, he grabbed my purse, and then he did not find the money. And when I just finished vacuuming, I put the vacuum back to the station, he jumped into the car and then opened the glove compartment and then took my wallet with my all credit card and then the cash money that I got it from the bank. And I started screaming, and then I hang into the door. The guy took the money, and then he pushed me to the ground, and then they drove away. Yeah, I got some bruises on my rib side and then scratches on my knee because he pushed me so hard.
Anahita had just taken $4,000 in cash out from a nearby bank, money the second-year nursing school student had saved to help bring her parents to the U.S. from Iran.
It was very important for me because it was all money that I had.
Anahita studies full-time. She works full-time as a caregiver. And now her dream of reuniting her family is on hold.
A person like me works so hard for money, going to school, going to work. And then when you're doing this, you're not just ruining the person's life, you are ruining the trust among the whole community.
A friend helped set up this GoFundMe in hopes the community will now rally around her. Police told her the Jeep was stolen and the thieves likely followed her from the bank to the car wash. So far, no one's been caught.
Don't belong to be in the society, they belong to be in the jail.
I was trying to find the GoFundMe. I'm pretty sure that she got back to $4,000 though. The GoFundMe probably got her back to $4,000. If anybody can find the GoFundMe, put the link up. I'll check it out. We can check it out live. It's tough, man. I don't like to victim blame, but I also have to be realistic in the way that people are moving. And this kind of encapsulates all of it, but like the awareness that people have is just like at a car wash, especially if you're in a city like a California, where it's a really wide open city where there's like multiple different points to access businesses because of the way the city's laid out. Like we have a car wash, it's not that far from where I'm at. And the car wash is actually like, it's in the back. There's like, basically there's only one way in and out of that car wash. So if someone was to come in, they'd basically have to come in through the gate to get in the car wash, and that's the only way to get in and out. So that car wash would be a little bit different. But on average, I think at a car wash you're the most vulnerable because oftentimes you're going to leave your car with the keys in the ignition, possibly running, because people usually like to have their music playing and all that type of stuff, or listen to the radio, or listen to DotSale on YouTube. And so they're not paying attention. And when you're in a car wash and you're vacuuming out your car, you're running around, you're not paying attention to your surroundings. It's almost impossible to do when you're cleaning out your car. So a lot of times when you're at the car wash, you're the most vulnerable. My thing is this, though. You go to the bank and you got $4,000 in cash on you as a single woman with no protection on you. In California, can you even conceal and carry in California? I know they got really strict gun laws out there. I don't even think you can like have a firearm on you. And as a woman, like if you got $4,000 on you, cash, and you just came from the bank and you're not even watching to see a car trailing you, listen, what we need to do as people is be more aware of our surroundings. And I tell my kids this all the time. You gotta pay attention to what's going on. You gotta pay attention. You know, as kids be getting driven around a lot, right? I drive my kids around a lot. And one of the things I always tell them is I'm like, I want you to be able to retrace where we left from and where we went to. I want you to look at landmarks. I want you to identify street signs. I want you to identify different unique markers throughout our trip so you can start to understand what's going on around you. You got to pay attention to your surroundings. And, you know, she almost got herself killed with all of this as well. And, you know, you just got to be more aware when you're out in the world. I mean, there's always somebody looking to prey on you. We live basically in a concrete jungle. We live in a concrete jungle right now. Like, there's predators out here at all times, and they're looking to get over on the weak. So when you're out and you're not out with a pack, right? And you're that lone zebra out there and you just sitting there eating your grass. Do zebras eat grass? What do zebras eat? Eating your grass as a zebra. And you look around and you figure out, hey, yo, where all the rest of the zebras at? You might want to start to begin to figure out a way to get back with the pack, get your back to the forest because more than likely a lion's gonna come out of nowhere and bite down on your neck. And, you know, that's kind of what we've seen happen with this. So, you know, I hope that she's all right. I hope that, you know, the GoFundMe helped her and she can, you know, make better decisions moving forward and that she recovered her car and stuff. Yikes. Man, I got so many of them. I'm actually going to skip this one. But basically, what happened here was these people robbed cash for gold. They ran this cart through the door, through the burglar bars, and cleaned out the entire business in a matter of minutes and left basically no jewelry or gold at all. Yeah. I got a lot of these. And we're going to wrap it up, actually, because we're going to get to the main story with the $8 million bail. We got to get to the main story. So let's go through, I think we'll go through two more. We'll get to it now. Let's do it now. This is the main story. $8 million bail. No, hold on, wait. I was going to lead into it. This was the first story that happened. This was when it first happened. So this is like 5 days ago, right? This is before they caught the suspect.
Several people have been arrested after a major smash and grab robbery in Northern California. Police say nearly 12.
All 7 are from Oakland, ranging in age from 17 to 31, and are believed to be connected to similar crimes across the Bay Area.
This is not their first time doing something like this.
So far, police have recovered 2 guns and some jewelry left behind. Many of the getaway vehicles had been reported stolen. Despite the arrest, the group still managed to escape with roughly $1 million worth of goods.
Definitely a well-orchestrated event that requires a lot of investigation on the back end.
Police warn that the group won't stay hidden for long, and when they're caught, it could be the key to solving several crimes in the region.
And half of these fools don't even know how to fence any of this. I don't want to go to this one, though, because this is where, and this is just recently. This is like in the last, 10, 15 hours. And this talks about the judge actually setting the bond amount on this criminal. This one's interesting.
Nearly 24 people were caught on camera during a dramatic jewelry heist in San Ramon.
Yeah, the video was remarkable. And today, one suspect was in court. ABC 7 News reporter Luz Pena has been following this story and is live in Martinez. Luz?
Yes, Dan, the suspect that was in court today has been identified as Jimmy Mac Ray. According to the public defender, he's a father of 2 who works at a nonprofit in San Francisco. Police found jewelry in his possession connecting him to this crime. A week after the brazen robbery at Heller Jewelers in San Ramon's Bishop Branch, one of the 4
don't even know how to fence the jewelry right. He still got the jewelry on him.
Suspects arrested was in court Monday.
Free Staff, he's innocent. He said he wasn't there. Free Staff, he's innocent. That's exactly right. He was not there. He's innocent.
His girl.
He wasn't there? How the hell did he get the jewelry then? Okay, I get it. So, receiving stolen property then. He wasn't there, but he bought the jewelry, assuming what she said is correct, which it isn't. He still received stolen property. He bought the jewelry from the criminal so he could try to fence it for more money. Is that what you're saying? Explain how he got the jewelry. She came out of nowhere. I didn't even know I didn't expect that.
Arrested was in court Monday.
Free Staff, he's innocent. He said he wasn't there. Free Staff, he's innocent. That's exactly right. He was not there. He's innocent.
His girlfriend coming out of the courtroom making his stance clear. 27-year-old Jimmy Mac Ray denied the allegations. His public defender saying on behalf of Ray, he's not guilty. He was not at the incident at all. Ray is facing 13 counts of second-degree robbery, 1 count of conspiracy to commit a crime. Each robbery has an enhancement that can add additional years to his sentence. So his family member was in court today and said that he was not there. He denies these allegations. What's your response to that?
Well, everyone, of course, is innocent until they are proven, until the charges are proven. The district attorney has that burden, we would not have filed a case if we did not think we had sufficient evidence to prove these charges beyond a reasonable doubt.
The Contra Costa County District Attorney confirmed they have evidence that connects the suspect to the crime.
So far from the investigation, that the police have reported that the vehicles that they arrived in and the vehicles that they used for the getaway were alleged to be stolen cars. We know that the amount of jewelry that was taken is estimated to be $1.7 million.
And sent a message to the other people involved who have yet to be arrested.
When you commit these acts in Contra Costa County, please know that the police will make every effort to apprehend. And when they are apprehended, the district attorney's office will prosecute to the fullest extent of the law.
The district attorney's office said only $100,000 in jewelry has been recovered in this case. Ray's bail was set at $8 million. His next...
Wow. Was that 8? Did I get to 8? Might have been 7. Let's go one more. $8 million bail, which is insane. He'll never be able to make that bail. But for some reason, I have a wide suspicion that they're going to lower the bail significantly, probably sometime soon, probably at his next hearing. Still won't be able to afford it, but it will be lowered from $8 million. This is unprecedented for something like this. We never see these people get held accountable at an $8 million bail. But my thing is this. You know why he's gonna get caught? I'm gonna tell you why. Because of this. Because of this. This right here is gonna be the reason why he gets caught. He thought that he can go in there and I'll just turn my location services off. If he's even that smart, which I doubt. But he's not gonna realize that your cell phone pings off of the tower that's closest to where it needs to get a signal from. And oftentimes, even when it's turned off, you can still triangulate it. But the cell phone's going to be what gets them caught. And when they break into a cell phone and they gain access to it and they begin to subpoena Track Phone or Boost Mobile or Cricket Wireless, then they're going to subsequently get all the evidence they need. Because he took pictures of the jewelry. He probably sent out Snapchats and he thinks that they're going to be deleted after he sends it. But Snapchat keeps a log of everything that you do on Snapchat for a significant amount of time. So anybody that's sending anything on Snapchat, just know the police can recover it all. You might not be able to get it, but Snapchat got it in their huge database, in their servers. Same thing where you put your stuff on iCloud, or you got your online backups. That's the same thing Snapchat does with every single transmission sent through their app. So he will be caught. And at worst, he's not innocent. She said he was innocent. You can't be innocent and you have the items that were stolen in your possession. That's impossible. Now, she could have said he wasn't the one that stole it, but he was the fence. That might have made a little sense, but it's crazy. But I want to look at him real quick. What I got for time? How much time do I got? I got a few more minutes. We ain't going to be able to get to the last one. But I want to look at him now. This is the guy here. He was caught before. He's a career criminal. We got him right here. Man charged with robbery of TV cameraman at Berkeley Synagogue. A TV cameraman was setting up for a shoot when a man with a gun rushed in to take the news station's $25,000 camera. 22-year-old Hayward man has been charged with robbery after authorities say he took a $25,000 camera from a newsman outside of Berkeley's congregation. Video surveillance shows it. University Ave. August 10th. What year was this? This is 2020. 2020. So, you know, was he innocent of this? Because they caught him with it, taking the camera valued at $25,000. Newsman had been filming a segment about an incident of arson in a garbage can at the synagogue. I wonder if he set the fire to get the cameraman out there. You think he's that smart? He might have did the original crime to get, because where's garbage cans at? They're usually in alleys. They're usually, you know, behind the building. He might be smart, low key, even though he just got caught for this most recent crime. If he does that, he knows that they're going to go ahead and record in the alley. It's a little more isolated, probably less cameras and stuff going on, although he stole a camera. And he got the guy isolated. We got video of it? Well, damn. We got video of it. Let's check the video out. Oh, it's in a parking lot. Very dangerous crime. Let's see. The cameraman was kind of unfazed. Cameramen are some of the most, I would say, fearless people on the planet. They literally watch some of the most heinous things happen in front of them, and they're just behind. I do music, right? It's a hobby. I'm pretty good at. I made a song called Cameraman, and it was just talking about seeing things through the eyes of somebody that can't speak. It was a very, very deep song, and I went through different sections throughout the 3 verses, where one was talking about a child that was dealing with abuse, and basically the child was silenced by the parent and they had to deal with this abuse. But I looked at it through the eyes of a cameraman, just because of the fact that cameramen, like, we see stuff coming and we'll watch these videos, and the majority of the time the person that's recording it is a complete, like, they're invisible. They're just there. They don't say anything. They just capture it, and that's it. So, like, cameramen are used to seeing a lot of crazy things, and they're just there, you know, and they're completely unfazed. So, you know, this was this guy, and 5 years later, he's arrested again, and now he's held on $8 million bail. But he should have been still in jail for this 2020 crime. He should have been still in jail. So I think we're gonna finish up with this. I had a couple more I want to get to, but you know, we gotta end it there. How far did we get? And we already got to an hour. That was quick. This easily could have been 2-3 hours, honestly. We gotta get to our positive story today. Let's get to it. I'll go here. In Waunakee, Wisconsin. And, you know, we look at this story and we just say, let's get her back up here real quick. Let's actually get one of the paintings. Man, the detail in these paintings are incredible. Like, wow. Yeah, I could absolutely see, like, you know, averaging 13 hours on something that intricate. Painting is hard. Like, painting and sketching and all that, it's not easy because, like, if you make a mistake, it's hard to come back from it when you're doing a lot of these. I was friends with somebody that sketched and painted a lot, and I got an opportunity to watch a lot of their work and how they worked. And just the level of detail that they were able to put in to making these paintings and sketches was just incredible. So, you know, I really think that, you know, she changed the lives of the kids that she made these paintings for and made them think about things in a whole different light. And that's what we are supposed to do. We're supposed to inspire and build and make the world a better place. And we can do it in many ways. And we always talk about, you know, it doesn't have to be anything over the top, right? It's like you don't have to have world peace or anything like that, but you can do something as simple as making a painting like this, and more than likely, these kids right here that we're seeing, right, with these paintings, they'll have these paintings forever. They'll be in their attic, you know, they'll be put in their attic, or they'll be placed in their homes, and as they get older, they might be, you know, 50, 60 years old, and they'll look at these paintings with their grandparents, and they'll talk about it, and they may even pull up this news story and show it. And, you know, that's a lot of the time the difference of just being a good human being and not. So I think this was a great story and a good way to end off our day. As far as the lunch hour, we still got a lot more day to go. And that's what I want to do this for, because I wanted y'all to have a really positive experience throughout the rest of your day and be in good spirits moving forward. I got to go, though. I had a lot of fun, man. I had a lot of fun with y'all family. If you haven't yet, subscribe. We talked about the 4 things. I got 4 more. Like, comment, share, subscribe to Lunch and News with DotSale. I have too much fun doing this. I have way too much fun doing this. It shouldn't be this fun. It should not be this fun. It's a lot of work that goes behind the scenes, but coming on and doing this, I don't know. It's not a lot like it. Appreciate y'all. Good rest of your day.